Hey guys, Young Activist back here with another video today. And I want to talk to you guys about a topic that just happened. But before we do that, we're about to go live on Facebook too. Woo-wee!
Did another Birdman hand rub.
Hey guys, Young Activist back here with another video today. And I wanted to talk to you guys about, a recent post I just did. I did it last night. But, I did it late at night, so people didn't see it until the morning. And basically what it said was, if y'all going to be mad at R. Kelly, you should really be mad at Hugh Hefner too. You know what I'm saying? And before I get into why I posted that thing, I want to just make it clear. R. Kelly is a terrible human being. He's an animal. He's a waste of space. He should be dead or in prison for what he's done. He took advantage of younger age women, 14, 15, 12, 13 years old, with his power, his money, and his singing ability, and sexually abused them. That's unfair. It's 100% unethical, and it should not have happened. And that's wrong. R. Kelly's wrong with that. He's a disgrace as a human being. Period. Point blank. I want to make that 100% clear. Everything R. Kelly did is terrible. He's a terrible creeper. Now, understanding that, I have a few data points I want to hit real fast. Let's go into Charlie Sheen. Charlie Sheen was 100% aware that he had AIDS, HIV, and was 100% aware that he infected over 25 different sexual victims. And his ex-girlfriend right now broke up with his ass and is now trying to sue him for what he's done to her. That is horrible. And on top of that, Charlie Chaplin. He married a 16-year-old little girl, because he had sex with her. He had sex with this female, so instead of saying that he was sexually raped or it was molestation, what he did was he ended up getting married to her. And then he also raped a 12-year-old girl, and there was a 15-year-old girl recently who just came out and said that Charlie Chaplin tried to get on to her and try to sexually abuse her.
She was 15 at the time, is what he's saying.
Also, let's talk about Donald Trump, the president of the United States. He has over 22 different cases of women trying to who came out and said that they were sexually abused by Donald Trump. Man, it's insane out here. All these different men you see in Brett Kavanaugh, who is being accused of gang rape and drugging women and having sex with them. And now that was swept under the rug. Every time you see any forms of men in power with the image they have to protect, they sweep that thing under the rug like nobody cares.
If you're white.
Especially if you're a Caucasian male. It's not always like that, though. For example, y'all Christian pastors, these black men who we trust in our own communities, who take your grandma's light bill money and use that money for their gas on their Mercedes. That person, he uses that money, but on top of that, he uses his status to take advantage of little girls. And I guarantee you, 90% of y'all, probably 99% of y'all know somebody or has heard stories of black women, young, 7, 10, 12 years old, being sexually molested and raped by their pastors. Somebody knows, and I'm sure there's women on here who knows about cases like that, or who've personally experienced that, because that's common in our communities. Also, on top of that, we could talk about the music industry and how it identifies our women, especially our black women, and how it identifies it, of course, as hoes. You know what I'm saying? They make them portrayed with less clothes on. They make them seem a certain type of way, so they feel like they have to match that aesthetic and do those types of things in order to make it in the music industry. We could talk about my favorite, Harvey Weinstein. He's a horrible human and horrible individual. Harvey Weinstein, for 30 years, has sexually abused and molested over 80 women. And you know what? The funny thing is, it's probably around 100 because he did it with a lot of men. That story when Terry Crews got his balls groped in the middle of a party by this man because he knows he has so much power. And if the 6'3", 360-pound black man ends up attacking this man, guess what happens? His status is done. He's finished just like that. Because the thing is how black man is looked in society is they looked at as a threat already, and he knew that. So he's been sexually assaulting women, children, and men for years, 30 plus years. More than half of y'all has been alive. And the crazy thing is this goes on, etc. Goes on and on and on. We could go back to slavery. George Washington, Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson actually had a secret house nigga who he was hiding, who he was having many kids with, who were enslaved by him. And she was 14 years old when he started sexually assaulting her. Abraham Lincoln, he was a man who also raped his slaves. Most of these slave owners we seeing, they actually are known for sexually assaulting women. George W. Bush. George W. Bush has many allegations of sexually assaulting women as well. This is a common theme in the Black community and the Hispanic community, but not just that, in the male community as a whole. This is a money industry. So everything that you're seeing is done by power. Here, I got another point for y'all. Child pornography. It's an uncomfortable topic to communicate about, but it's fact. Child pornography is a super huge industry, especially in the Black market. And the funny thing is about child pornography, they could record these women who are 16, you know what I'm saying, 7 years old, a baby, 10 years old. They could record all these people and it'd be 100% okay as long as, of course, you know, it can't be on the general web because that's illegal. But the thing is you could find, Tom Brady won the Super Bowl a couple years back. They found, and he got his jersey stolen. They found Tom Brady's jersey within like 4 or 5 days after that happened. 4 or 5 days after that happened. But all these technological advances, everything going on in America, you telling me you can't find these people who are doing child pornography? But then you're going to arrest the people who watch it. And trust me, they're all terrible human beings. They all need to be killed or in prison, something. I'm not for pedophiles in any way, shape, or form. I'm just saying the person who's doing the crime as well needs to be captured as much as and punished as much as the people who's watching it. The fact is this society is built off of building and making and grooming our young girls to see themselves as sexual objects to appease men. It's always been like that. People are more worried about what R. Kelly's doing than all these Black women who are going missing, Native American women, Hispanic women who's going missing and being pushed into the slave trade at high rates right now. People are more worried about what R. Kelly's doing. And the fact is at the end of the day, we've known about this for like 20, 30 plus years. R. Kelly was on recording, peeing on a 14-year-old girl.
The Boondocks even joked about it.
So did Dave Chappelle.
Oh, yeah.
But R. Kelly, you have to realize, R. Kelly has been doing this for years. People already knew. People knew that Aaliyah was 14 years old when they was together and got married. People knew this. But now, since it's documented and people are seeing it now, it's a trending topic. Everybody wants to talk about that. We're not persecuting him for 20, 30 plus years of doing this, but now we want to. We still listening to Step in the Name of Love. Listen, let me make a point real clear to y'all. What R. Kelly did was tragic. And the thing is people have known about this prior to this documentary. And he was still able to sing at the Whitney Houston funeral. Knowing people knowing he was a sexual predator.
And that was nationally broadcast. Everybody
seen that. You could look that up. These are all facts, I'm telling you. So the thing is people are looking at R. Kelly like, hey, man, you know what I'm saying? You're a terrible person. He is. He's a horrible person. He deserves to be persecuted. But the same way you're treating him is the same way you need to be treating Hugh Hefner. It's the same way you need to be treating Donald Trump. It's the same way you need to be treating our quote-unquote forefather oppressors. It's the same way you need to be treating Charlie Sheen. It's the same way you need to be treating Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard, if y'all didn't know this, Dwight Howard dated a 16-year-old like 2 years ago. Guess that was swept under the rug. No one's talking about that. Karl Malone, everybody knows who Karl Malone is, another basketball player. He sexually was in a relationship with a 14-year-old girl. It was on case and on trial. That was swept under the rug. No one talks about that. These types of situations isn't only about color, it's about money. It's a money industry. And people, of course, are going to say, quote unquote, it's male-dominated, male this, male power, patriarchs. But you have to realize it's not only about that, because males do have more power in society. That's fact. But it's based off of money, especially as Black men, because I can't really talk about what the white man's doing or the Chinese man or none of that, because I'm not that. I can only talk about what the power I can do for my Black community and what he could do for his Black community and Hispanic community to make sure that we're standing up and making sure we're protecting our Black women and having these types of things stop. You know, there's a lot of people out here who's been sexually molested and sexually assaulted by their uncles. I watched the documentary of R. Kelly, and guess what? Nobody was talking. They still didn't give up his identity when he came out and said, hey, you know, I was sexually molested by a family member. I'm not going to give his name, but I was. Really? So you're going to talk all this shit about R. Kelly, which he deserves, but you're not going to give it to the source of why he ended up doing that same thing. Because remember, hurt people hurt people. So if he was sexually assaulted from 6 years old to 14 years old, guess what? You should tell on that person doing it. In the Black community, we have this thing called the no snitching rule. But you need to snitch on people who sexually molesting kids, especially. That is unethical and morally wrong. And the reason I said Hugh Hefner specifically is because Hugh Hefner is looked at as a legend in society. He's looked at as like sexual icon, created Playboy, blah, blah, blah. Madonna. I mean, not Madonna. What's that one girl's name from the 50s who gave
Marilyn Monroe.
Marilyn Monroe. He was the one who discovered Marilyn Monroe.
Really?
Yeah. So the thing was, he actually got buried right next to it.
You know what's funny? JFK was having a sexual relationship with Marilyn Monroe while he was married.
I was just about to say that. But the funny thing is, even that alone, he's looked at as like this amazing positive image. This man was having sex with 19, 18-year-olds at 90 plus years old, 80, 60, 70 plus years old. I don't care. I know if y'all have children. I know if y'all have daughters, even if they're of legal age of consent, you're not going to allow your daughters to be with 90-year-olds. You're not going to allow your daughters to be with 80-year-olds. That's a 70-year difference. That's pedophilia. Just because America legalized 18 as the age of consent does not make it morally or ethically right for a man to be able to have sex with these women. That is wrong. It's just as wrong as R. Kelly. He's exploited and over-sexualized women for when did the Playboy was made? Like in the 60s. He's been doing it before the 60s. He's been doing it for 70 plus years, 50 plus years. The thing is he's looked at as an icon for that. When he's probably even worse than R. Kelly. He's a pedophile. And I guarantee you, not every woman he probably dealt with was of the age of 18. Because, you know, there's women who lie about their age to be able to make it into the industry in which they're trying to go into. So the thing is he probably has sex with women who are underage, quote unquote, from American standards. And that's 100% wrong. I don't care what y'all say about that. The thing is we have to see him and the exact same light as we see R. Kelly. We have to see all these men in the exact same light as we see R. Kelly. They're all wrong. So persecute them all. Don't just put one in a bubble. Do it to all of them. You want to add anything?
Yeah, he just went off for 12 minutes. I'm a keep mine short. Really what it boils down to, because like, again, I can only focus on what goes on in my community. So black men, this is towards black men, because R. Kelly's a black man. Black men, keep the commandments and protect black women. Because when you look at situations like this where rich black men get in trouble for sexual scandals, it's usually because they're doing something wrong. So if R. Kelly wasn't out here having sex with little kids, he wouldn't be in this situation. If Bill Cosby wasn't cheating on his wife and messing around with white women, he wouldn't have been in that situation.
Thanks.
If Tiger Woods married like a white woman, but if he wasn't out here having sex with strippers, wouldn't have been in that situation. So in the Bible, it talks about, in Deuteronomy 28, it says, if you don't keep my commandments, all these curses are going to happen to you. So now he's feeling the effects of the curse. For so long, he was able to enjoy his status in America, and now it's flipping on him.
And he felt invincible.
And he still feels invincible. He's like, I'm just going to sue you. I didn't watch it, but I'm going to sue you.
Hey.
But the bigger thing is, what are we like? Okay, so all these young girls are being sexually assaulted by R. Kelly. Where's their dads? Where's the black man at? The black man is supposed to stand up and protect his wife, his son, and his daughters.
Yeah.
We are whoring out our daughters and giving them to the industry. You are giving them to a music industry where you know lots of lasciviousness and evil concupiscences are happening. You know that they have weird sex parties in the music industry. People have come out and admitted that. You know they do lots of drugs in the sex industry or in the music industry. The music industry is the sex industry at this point. You know this. So where are the black men who are standing up and protecting their daughters and being like, no, you can't go to R. Kelly's house. No, you can't go sing with R. Kelly. No.
What is R. Kelly's reputation? What is R. Kelly's reputation?
I don't give a damn what R. Kelly's reputation is. He's a grown-ass man.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying in the aspect of the parent. His reputation is to be known for messing with little girls. People have known about this since the 90s.
Regardless of what his reputation is, you are a dad. Protect your daughter. Black men protect black women. Period. And it goes into the Hispanic, like you said, Hispanic and Native American community. That's why in the Black and Native American community, our women feel like they can't trust us. They don't feel supported or protected because we're not there to protect them. And everybody knows, everybody got in their family that uncle who's weird. And when you at the family reunion, he goes up to the young girls and he gives them long ass hugs and be like, "Girl, look at you. When I first saw you, it was about this tall. How old are you? You ain't seen yet?" Being super weird. So we got to change that as a community altogether.
Man, we got to change that 100%. So, and like what I'm trying to tell y'all is every single post I've seen on that, every single disagreement I've seen, and I'm gonna be honest, I definitely might have worded it to where y'all don't understand what I mean. But the thing is I am not in any way in support with R. Kelly. I'm not at all. That's not true. The thing is what I am upset about is we only do this when it comes to the black men. We have to do this with every race and every single male who's taking control and taking advantage of their power and making sure we're letting people know that man is a predator. He is a creep. Don't mess with him.
Ostracize him.
You have to do that with everybody. Quit putting it under the rug, man. We can't just do that to these blacks. We have to be doing this to these white people who's in office too. We have to be doing this to these people in positions of power. See, what the thing is what we don't understand is the media controls our thought process. So how the media controls our thought process is they come out with a documentary. R. Kelly's a horrible person. Yes, we all know this. We've known this for 25 years now. He's a horrible person, pedophile. We've been known that. So now, understanding that information, a new documentary came out. Now everybody's talking about like it's some brand new information. We've been known this, man. But when it came to Brett Kavanaugh, or when it came to Donald Trump, or when it came to Charlie Sheen, or especially Harvey Weinstein, that was what, maybe a week or two in Facebook news. I'm sure it wasn't in like actual CNN, in Facebook news. And then guess what? No one's talking about it ever again.
Louis C.K. The rude part is Louis C.K. came out and admitted that he was pulling his penis out and showing it to women and locking the door. And he bounced back super quick and is now doing stand-up gigs and back on TV.
Yeah. See,
how quick are we to forget?
Man, we so quick to forget about people. It ain't even funny. Because the thing is R. Kelly, we've known about this, man. Why y'all acting brand new? R. Kelly's a predator, bruh. Stop.
You still play Love Slide at the family reunion.
Yeah, y'all still supporting his music. Y'all still playing his music.
You still play Bump and Grind.
I was still playing his music, but I'm not going to no more. You know why?
I probably still will.
Because I don't see nothing wrong. I'm just saying.
I'll probably still play R. Kelly. I'm not going to buy nothing, but people don't buy music anyway.
At the end of the day, you got to realize what R. Kelly did, man, it's unjust. It's unethical, and it's a terrible thing. And it's a terrible example for black men. Honestly, it really is. Because then it just makes us look more threatening, more look more like predators. And it's
the big hulking black guy is gonna rape you.
Period.
That's the overall arcing thing.
Period. So yeah, the black man who's a good singer and takes advantage of 14-year-olds in the studios.
Yeah, he's sexually promiscuous and he'll fuck anything. Oh, language. My bad.
I mean, but it's fact though, and he's an embarrassment to the black community right now. But you know who else is an embarrassment to the male community, the man community as a whole? Every single one of these people, Christian pastors.
The Christian pastor, he not only like rapes you physically, he rapes you spiritually and financially.
Man, at the end of the day, there's this Catholic priest who came out. Y'all already know about this. This Catholic priest who came out about 6 months ago, and there was over 1,000 different cases of him sexually abusing children in Pennsylvania, in America. Who's talking about that? Why isn't he on national news? It's because he doesn't have a couple hundred hits. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing is we look at these people like it's whatever, or God will forgive him.
That's terrible,
or that's bad, But we're gonna just like shrug it off. But when it's like a super duper star, we want to talk about it all day, and make it seem like he's the only person in the world doing it. It's not, bruh. We have to look at everybody in the exact same light. If you ain't looking at everybody in the exact same light, then you're justifying their rape culture.
That's true. Yeah, rape culture is huge in America because America's founded off rape. America's founded off rape and enslavement.
Man, and it's been like that since the beginning. Columbus, I'm sure.
Columbus came and like assaulted like young Taino women. He took them back as sex slaves.
I'm sure they were under the age of 18.
Pocahontas got raped.
Man.
Pocahontas was 14 when John Smith first saw her.
Hey, Kim Kardashian lost her virginity at like 14. Yeah, like these, like even everybody in the industry, you have to give up a little bit in order to get a lot. Maybe even more. Because Harvey Weinstein, there's also allegations how he had some of his other directors go in there and mess with them women. You know what I'm saying? Have sex with them so they can become superstars. You want to be a superstar? Well, this is what you got to do. Put your face in the pillow.
In America, sex isn't seen as something that's sacred between a man and a woman, a husband and a wife. It's seen as something that's like it's like a dollar bill. A dollar bill passes and goes here and there. You give a dollar bill to a homeless person. So it's nothing to give your genitalia to anybody.
Man, and at the end of the day, we got to realize, man, if we're going to hold this man to the same standards, if we're going to hold this man to standards, period, we have to do the exact same thing to every other man who does the same thing in positions of power. Stop just doing it to R. Kelly. Do it to everybody. That's 100% unethical, and it is white supremacy because that means you're justifying what they're doing.
Oh, definitely.
And the thing is, we can really only worry about what the black community is doing because that's who we are. But at the end of the day, we have to see them as examples and see why the system is accepting what's going on. Because the system's swaying our opinions on how we look at things.
Yeah, anything else?
Yeah. Actually, I got one more thing, and then I think I'm good.
Dang, you were hard.
Hey.
You was like going off.
Because this is mad hypocritical. The thing is also on top of that, we have to realize every time we do something, it's 10 times worse when we do it. But when the white man does it, it's looked at as like an iconic, legendary thing. For example, let's use an example we all know in Denver, especially the marijuana industry. I'm sure one of you guys have an uncle, a brother, a cousin who's in prison because of dealing drugs, especially marijuana. People is spending 20, 30, 40 plus years right now in prison for doing that. The thing is white man comes in, opens up a couple different stores, makes it into a business, calls it the cannabis industry, gets billions of dollars off of it. We do the same thing on the block. We get 20, 30 plus years. It's the same thing, and I know it's a lower scale compared to rape culture, and it's 100% fact. It is. It's not as huge of a deal, but the thing is when white man does it, we look at it as whatever, that's them. But when black man does it, we look at it as like persecution, kill him. We got to be doing the same thing and put forth that same energy towards both sides, no matter what color you are.
You mind if I speak on that?
Please do.
I don't even think it's less of a big deal because when you look at this situation, people didn't really care over time because R. Kelly was just sexually assaulting black women, and so this country doesn't value black women. They see black women as nothing, undesirable. So it doesn't matter if they're being sexually assaulted by this nigga. But when you look at the victims of Charlie Sheen, Donald Trump, Brett Kavanaugh,
Charlie Chaplin,
those are white women. So it's a big deal because you can't hurt the white woman.
Hey, man, and then another thing. Let's use Amber Alert. When white kids go missing, it's national news. When black kids go missing, it's sex slave trafficking. You know, there's a difference between an Amber Alert and an Ebony Alert for a reason. We're less valued in society. But then when we do something wrong, we're persecuted 10 times harder.
They don't give Amber Alerts when black people go missing.
Exactly.
They'd be like, oh, he ran away.
He ran away. Give it 48 hours. 48 hours later, actually 2 weeks after that, then you see his body with his organs missing. The thing is this is fact, man. And we have to see it in the exact same light. And if we don't start seeing rape culture in the exact same light with all races, then we're justifying rape culture. Period. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We have to see it in all different shades, literally. Because the thing is we can only worry about ourselves when it comes to the black community, Hispanic community, Native American community. We can only really worry about ourselves when it comes to economic structure and how we value ourselves in our community. So the best way to do that is by having these men start being strong and standing up and actually not doing this. Don't take advantage of your power. Don't use money and take advantage of these people. They take advantage of these women. You know what I'm saying? Even if they are of age, don't take advantage. actually value yourself and value your people and start using your platform to actually help out your community and protect your Black women.
Treat women like people.
Treat women like you would treat yourself. You don't want to see your female, or you don't want to see your Black woman or your girl, period, running around chasing wiener and dick everywhere. That's why they don't do it like that as much as we do. Or if they do it, they're way more low key on it because it's looked at as less. The thing is you have to treat them the way you want to be treated, period. And if you're not treating them the way you want to be treated, you just like R. Kelly.
Yeah. If you're not treating women right and you're out here sexually abusing them, talking to them any type of way, being reckless, having sex with all different type of women, you're definitely no better than R. Kelly.
You really ain't. And I don't care if they of age or not.
Period.
The thing is like you have to realize you have to value, especially your Black woman. You have to value a Black woman like you would value yourself. And hey, man, if y'all seen my post, you know what I'm saying? It's on my personal page. The thing is however y'all feel about it is however y'all feel. And you're 100% right to feel the exact same way you do because I feel the same way as y'all. It was wrong. But when you're putting forth that energy on my post or commenting towards y'all offenses, towards whatever R. Kelly's doing, do the same thing for every rapist you see.
Have that same energy. Come with that same energy.
Come with that same energy, dog. Facts. But hey, man, at this point, I'm just, it's secular conversation. Period. So, hey, man, I just wanted to give y'all that information because I know that was a big thing for a lot of y'all today. Just letting y'all hear exactly what I was communicating about and talking, because I like actually talking. I'm not a texter. So, yo, power to the people. I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all got any more opinions or questions? Please comment. Share this video on how bad it is if you don't like it. Or if you love it, please let this be known. If you want to add anything?
If you disagree with what we're saying here, let us know in the comments. Let us know on the message boards. Hit us up. Send us messages. Write it on our page. Even if you disagree, like, share this video, subscribe to the YouTube page. You can follow him on Instagram at Young Activist. Follow him on Twitter at ElijahJudah144. Follow me on Twitter at Hasadai8. Remember, many are called, few are chosen.
Power to the people, y'all. Talk to y'all later. Goodbye. Shalom.
Woo. So on YouTube, we're actually going to do poker renditions of all R. Kelly's best songs.
Poker renditions?
Dun, dun,
chill,
dun,
no.
Dun,
all right, hey, guys.
I don't see nothing wrong.
Hey, man.
With a little bump and grind.
He's the devil right now. So I'll talk to y'all later. But, hey, I appreciate y'all all coming in and staying in. But, hey, man, power to the people for y'all too, YouTube especially. I love y'all, man. Talk to y'all later. Hey, subscribe to this YouTube channel if you haven't yet. Let's get to 400, man.
Tell your friends to subscribe too. Share it.
Share it. But, hey. Talk to y'all later. Goodbye.
Dun, 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 dun.